Space Marine units that nobody seems to play anymore. That's going to be the focus of this podcast, of this vlog. And it's more about, in my opinion, opening up the question, comparing different playing groups, comparing different metas. And this is one of the real values, in my opinion, not just with Warhammer 40K, but with Wargaming and YouTube. Every gaming group has its own dynamic based on the players, based on the type of missions that you like to play. Are you a narrative group? Are you a tournament, competitive type group? And over time, based on that personality, things become the norm. And this is where things become a little bit challenging in developing yourself as a Warhammer 40K player. Whatever your primary gaming group is, that's your bread and butter. That is the primary resource here in terms of developing yourself as a player. But we need to step out of that zone every now and then. This is why and I consider myself at this point a narrative player. I want to make some cool stuff happen on the table. But in that journey and in making that decision, there is value in going out and playing in tournaments and doing the best that you can, because that's going to be some real-time testing, some real-time application of seeing new stuff out of the player personality of your gaming group. And the parallel to this, of course, is YouTube, seeing battle reports, seeing other hobbyists, getting other perspectives outside of your physical circle. So I say that in that part of this is maybe 80% of what I see and play, and I'm a part of myself in 40K. And the other part is very much what I see on YouTube. Some of it confirms it, some of it not so much. So the three types of Space Marine units that I just don't even see anymore on the table. Do they even exist anymore? Do they even make the models anymore? I'm going to offer my three, and then we're going to turn it around and give it to you guys in the comments for your three. Number one, Space Marine attack bikes. I have not seen an attack bike in forever. I have not played an attack bike. I used to have two groups of them running multi-meltas in forever. Do they even exist anymore? Is there any reason to even play them anymore? It's a unit, in my opinion, that has completely, utterly, and totally disappeared from the game. Number two, my vote. And I'm a little bit surprised by this. And I still think there's some value in it from the narrative play, but I think this duality of competitive play and the state of 40K right now is what's caused this. Razorbacks. It's amazing. Where are all the Razorbacks? Now, I still play them in my Black Templars. I play them with heavy bolters, but I don't think there's as much need anymore. There used to be a great need in 40K to physically protect your Space Marines, especially from vehicles, because only vehicles could really hurt vehicles in previous editions on there, or if infantry were going to take on a vehicle, they needed Melta, or in some cases, maybe you could do it with plasma, but it was really a two-tier system of like vehicles and non-vehicles in there, and flyers, before they became true flyers, were kind of lumped in with vehicles. So if you were advancing your Marines up the table and there was a Predator tank shooting at you, you really couldn't do anything. So you would literally protect your Marines in plastic boxes. And as long as we're protecting plastic boxes for the price, you might as well get a las cannon or las plas or heavy bolters or assault cannons. There was a time assault cannons were king. And in the beginning of 8th, there was a lot of this we'd see. But now I don't really know any Marine players that play Razorbacks. Fritz, you're entirely wrong. My entire meta plays it. Well, maybe that's what I'm looking to confirm or deny or shed some light on, simply because with Marines overall, depending on what version vanilla you're playing, you get to reroll ones, you get to reroll the wounds, you get to reroll this. You got bolter discipline, you've got bolter drills. Essentially, at this point, Marines distills down to how many bolters can I get on the table for the cheapest price on there. So why would I pay the tax for vehicles when I can just get more Marines on the table? It's amazing. Literally, it's been a slow phase out of Razorbacks in there. Chaplains. Chaplains. I mean, librarians for the psychic powers. We've got other heroes in the Space Marine list, but I really don't see, even with Blood Angel players, I'm not seeing chaplains as much on there. Just, again, like, just get more bolters on the table. And I was a little bit surprised by this because there was a time, a long, long time ago, Litanies of Hate was a special rule for Marines that let you re-roll failed hits. So you would, and of course Games Workshop, with their wording, it was really kind of nebulous and not very tight, and they didn't play test it. So if you could attach a chaplain to something, you got re-rolls on everything. So the standard would be, okay, take a chappie and put him in with an assault squad, re-rolls on the re-rolls. Put the chaplain in with Lucas the Trickster. Oh, reroll on the stasis bomb. Put them in with a unit that has melta-bombs if you had to attack a vehicle or a Titan. Rerolls on the misses on there. I don't think Games Workshop ever intended that. But for a while, there was chaplains that was their use. GW fixed it. This is ancient history. And then for a while, I only really saw chaplains in narrative play. I always play a chaplain. And in playing Blood Angels, for various unlocks and various, I won't even say ways to control Death Company at the time, but I admittedly so were the best chaplains in there. But now I can't remember the last time I saw a chaplain. And I'm sure there are other units out there, but I'm just curious now, reaching out into the warp, peering out into the warp, navigating on the Golden Throne, through the Golden Throne, the Astronomicon. What do you guys, what units have, if you've been playing Marines for a while, what units have vanished completely from your meta? And if you're a new Marine player, what unit, like some old 40K Longfang makes mention of a unit and you're like, wait, what is that? What unit exists? I haven't even seen that model on the store shelf that's out there. Looking and interesting how the meta has and continues to evolve.